Good morning from Tennessee. It is a beautiful fall day, morning anyway. It may get hot this afternoon, but it is gorgeous this morning. It's just energizing. There's a breeze and the sun shining and it's cool. It is great, fabulous weather. Um, I'm Kim with Simply Homespun, and I welcome all returning viewers. Thank you. And I welcome new viewers. I thank you for trying me out. Um, I've got some things to share today, and I want to get started. Right now, my project, I just finished, as those of you who have watched the podcast know, I spin dog hair basically for a living. And I have an Etsy shop also, which was what I was doing. It was not making a consistent living, but it was good for spending money. But the dog hair is doing really well. So I spin dog hair for customers. So they send it to me and I spin it. And I am working on a poodle hair right now, and it. Let's just say I pray for the Holy Spirit to spin this yarn through me because it is short. But I'll take it. I don't know if you can kind of see. So that's the poodle hair. And pop it back on. So I'm hand carding. I'm hand carding the poodle hair on my Ashford hand carders. And here's how it came. So you can see it's little short bits. So it's a challenge. I know a lot of people who spin dog hair have like a minimum 2-inch length. But I hate to eliminate dogs because, like this one, I mean, she wants yarn out of her hair, and so I hate to say no. But when I card it into a little rolag, I am able to spin it better. It's still going to have, there's no way it's not going to have lumps in it because, you get those pieces and they're just going to be like that. But that's a long piece. It's gone now. So anyway, I'm working on poodle hair. After the poodle hair, I have a box. Here it is, sorry. A box of Akita hair, which this is, I had to wash it. Yeah, I was reading, if you store your dog's hair in plastic bags, which is not good because it felts, but if it also causes it to smell. Even if it didn't smell when you put it in the bag, it'll smell pretty quickly. So anyway, here is the Akita hair. And so it's a lot more fluffy. It's still not really long, but it did spin fairly well. See, here's like a little matty place. But her hair was stored in a bag, and I had to wash it. So I'm going one bag at a time washing. I think there's 5 bags of it. So that's my next ongoing dog hair spin. Um, so those are my works in progress for here, for the dog hair. And I have some progress on my other works in projects, works in oh my gosh, progress. Okay, here, you know what I didn't do is get the names of all the yarn. But anyway, this is my Opal sock that I was doing for the Opal knit along on the Bakery Bears, which is long since gone. But There it is. And it's just a basic vanilla sock pattern that had videos to go with it, which I needed to do the heel. I started using, uh, or did I? No, these, yes, I did start these with, oh, the wildflower and honeycomb pattern, and I could not get the heel, so I had to rip it all out. So this heel, I think it's a peacock heel. Anyway, it actually came out. So I'm excited. And so anyway, I'm now on the foot. These are cuff downs, and I am knitting them on my Haya sharps. I love. I really need to get some more, so then I could have more and more socks on the needles. But and I am using magic loop, which I do love that, but just one at a time because I didn't want to, ruin two socks if I didn't get the heel right. So I did them one at a time. But anyway, they're about ready uh, to start the toe. Well, a little more out. So that's Opal, and it's funny. It's a sparkle base, and I think it was funny something. I've put it in my show notes in previous episodes. Oh, and I didn't say what episode this is. It's episode I don't know because I don't know which one. It could be 15. Does it really matter? It's this one. It is this one on August 5th, 2017. So, and I have it in my Mina Phillips from the Knitting Expat, her bag, project bag. And she's not doing project bags anymore right now. So I feel honored that I got this one. So anyway, there's that. And then I've got my Spindrift shawl, which I also love doing. I think I said last time, the knitting projects I have on my needles right now, 3 primary, are my favorites of anything I've knit. It's just their interest. The sock is something I really want to do, and it's because I did the vanilla sock, I can take it with me anywhere and knit because it's just knitting. But um, this Spindrift shawl, I've always wanted to knit a shawl. A shawl, y'all. That's what I said last time. But anyway, I am from the South, and y'all, does pop out. So here is what I have so far. I have made a wee bit of progress. I need my circular. It's not long enough, but my long one is on my dad's sweater, which I'll show you in a minute. So I really am incentivized to get my dad's sweater finished so I can have my needles or my cord. I'm using the Denise interchangeable needles for this and my dad's sweater, which I also love, but they don't come in little bitty sizes. So here's this, and it's got, I don't know, yeah, see, you can tell it's got a little of that on the border, but it's by Helen Sullivan, and it is a paid for pattern, but it can be free. I got it for free for signing up on the little club thing, Spindrift shawl. So that's the Spindrift shawl. In her patterns, and I've showed this before, I'm not going to show anything that will really give it away too much, but she goes line by line, and so then you just check off your progress, and you can tell how far along you are over here. So like I'm a little over 15%, and in 4 rows I'll be at 20% finished. So that's cool. So I think last time I showed it to you I was like 5 or 10, so I've gone up a little bit. And that project is in this project bag, and this was made by a friend of mine, Paulette, and Paulette has bags in my shop. But I like these because they're really big and roomy, and um, there is a pocket in here, but I'm not really utilizing the pocket. I just have the shawl. The yarn I'm using, the colors, it's a green. It's like a sea green. It's a single ply New Zealand Romney. I did it. I dyed this and spun it. So that's that. It was part of my Karen's Garden series. And there's not that colorway, but there's still some more. And um, and really, it's kind of a greenish blue. That's why I say sea green. But I hate you can't see the color, but it's really pretty. But anyway, I dyed it with blue Kool-Aid. That's what I used for this one. And I really love it. So I could dye more of that one. Okay, then my dad's sweater. I have made some progress. I finished the back, and now I'm working on the front. So I've got I'm about halfway done this back, about halfway done with the front. It's my dad's, it's our family Irish clan sweater pattern. And you can look back at previous episodes to hear the story of the sweater, but it has been going on for like 6 years or so. It's been ripped out. It's just they made a mistake in the pattern. The lady in Ireland was not clear, and so anyway, I finished the front and realized because there's not a picture on the pattern, but I went online to see, and it did not look anything like what I had knitted. And I'm like, so I had to rip all of it out. They were very nice and accommodating, and um, it was at the Clan Aaron website, but I just had to put it away because. But anyway, now I'm on the mend, and hopefully I'll have this finished soon, so I can have my long needles. And I'm using the sugar and cream. It's just a white or off white, I guess, cotton. I was gonna do it, and actually the front I finished was in my homespun yarn, and I was talking to my dad. I mean, by this time it's no surprise gift because it's been forever. But I was talking to my dad, and he lives in North Georgia, so it's really warm, and he just didn't think he'd wear a wool sweater. So I made it cotton, so it won't be so warm. But anyway, those are my works in progress. So I did finish dog yarn, but I've already mailed it, so I can't show you that. It was a Shih Tzu mixed with mohair, and it was a really pretty yarn, but that's gone. you can go to my Etsy shop. It's etsy.com/shop/simply handspun yarn, and you can see a picture of it. I think it was Helen, reserve order for Helen, but it's going to be under my sold orders now. So if you look under sold, you can see it. But anyway, my kids and I went up to Hendersonville, which is outside of Nashville, because my daughter's dentist is there. And I went to Michael's and Hobby Lobby, and I have some acquisitions, of course. I didn't buy much. Grace got a big infinity loom, and Ben, that was at Michael's. That was my 40% off. I used the coupon on that, and then I used Hobby Lobby excuse me, coupon on Ben got a diorama set, and he put together a little log house and made a whole scene. So he did that, and so then I got at Michael's. The bag's big because of that loom, but the loom's inside the house. I'm in my studio today working on that yarn, poodle yarn. So these Premier Home yarns, which are 100% cotton. The lighting, this shop is a work in progress here. Yeah, that's purple. It's kind of showing up purple. But I got a bunch of different colors, thinking I would do, this is not a find your fade, but it could be, you know, where I'll just go from color to color to color and make Grace a shawl. Oh, what all did I get? It's all going to fall. I don't know why I'm even doing this because I'm going to have to stand up. No. Anyway, the colors are all washed out. But anyway, I got a bunch of different ones. These are 100% cotton, like I said, and I think there's 160 grams, 96 meters, 105 yards on here. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. So about 1,100 yards. I could actually do her sweater. I made her a really colorful sweater, and it just fits. So now it's too small. But it was really, it was a variegated yarn, and we found that it didn't match hardly anything. So if I do her another, and I will do her another, well, if I do another sweater, I am going to do it in a neutral color because just so it will go with everything, and I'm gonna make it big so it'll fit for a while. Then I didn't buy any yarn at Hobby Lobby. I was looking for sock yarn for my husband, and I just couldn't find anything. So I may wind up just spinning his and dyeing it. But at our local yarn shop here, the Yarn Patch, Grace picked out, this is called Diversity, and I did not know at the time it's a memory yarn, so it's a little bit elastic, so I don't know how that's going to be. So the plan was socks, and this is for the because she's in her orange phase. She went from pink to orange. She got her braces, rubber bands changed out, they're orange. So she's into orange. So anyway, I got that for socks, but it's not, I mean, it's not horrible, but yeah, memory yarn. It's 420 yards. So the colorway is multi-blue, but we'll see how it does. It may fit good or wear good, well, but I think the knitting might be challenging. And then I got this gorgeous yarn here. It's by, I'm showing prices. No one ever shows prices, but I didn't take my prices off. So, Whisper Lace by Fibra Natura. Natural fine hand knitting yarns. It's 70% superwash, 30% silk. And it's 440 yards or 400 meters, 50 grams. So I actually was thinking of doing another shawl with this. So but it's, oh my gosh, it's soft, and it really pretty colorway. What is the colorway? The colorway is cloudy morning. But again, it's whisper lace. So those are my acquisitions, and no works in progress, no unfinished objects. So we can chatter for a minute. We've just been really busy homeschooling. We have kind of we're doing something a little different. I have my kids. Ben's in 8th grade, Grace is in going into 5th, and we go all year. So we're just finishing up. Well, Ben finished his math, and now he's into 8th grade. But anyway, we started. I have a friend who is teaching Ben and Grace Latin, and she is the most beautiful, peaceful. Her focus is beauty and gentleness, and her home is such a reflection of that. And I love going there. So we started doing more a classical Friday, and we listen to old hymns. We sing like this Friday we did "For the Beauty of the Earth," and we read a scene from Shakespeare, Julius Caesar, Act 3, Scene 2, and it's Mark Antony's speech. And it really piqued Ben's interest. And so last night we watched Julius Caesar it was in the 1971 with Jason Robards as Brutus and Charlton Heston's Mark Antony. But and John Gielgud was Julius Caesar. But it was good. It was a little, bloody in parts, of course, but it was good. And so anyway, so we did that, and then we read some poetry, and we read Pam read to us out of a book called The Lost Arts of Modern Civilization. And she read the chapter out of that on letter writing, how letter writing is starting to be a lost art. And, it got me to thinking about history. And, Paul in the Bible, all of his books, which is most of the New Testament, are letters. And I said, what if they had the internet during that time? We would not have all this, he would have just emailed, and and there would have been no written records. And, because as we all know, email, things can happen. It can get deleted accidentally. You're just if you just things happen to email, and you don't tend to write or I don't know. I think most emails are just typed um, quickly, and um, probably not a lot of emails are what you would call lovely, or really going into a lot of detail. And I just think that it just got me to thinking about that letter writing. And so I'm going to start. Now, my kids, well, we even send e-cards. We don't even buy cards. And really, before I of course lived in a time when I was younger, we didn't have a computer, of course. So you did write. My mom made us write thank you notes, my sister and I, and I've not made my kids write thank you notes, and shame on me because I should, So we're going to start doing writing, and that's another thing that they're learning on Fridays is cursive writing. So they do cursive writing, and we did from all the readings we did with the lost art of handwriting, or letter writing, the Julius Caesar, um, and she read another piece. But so when that was done, you got out your notebook, and like a pretty notebook, and you wrote something from it, from the reading that really you wanted to remember. And then she had, I mean, I couldn't believe all the washi tape, beautiful washi tape. Uh, I don't know where she got it because it was Japanese or Chinese, and they were all in these little boxes. But beautiful. And so anyway, we had washi tape to decorate our page, and the kids seemed to like that. So and then we did, and then we sang. There's a hole in the bottom of the sea, and that was fun. And then then the kids had Latin, Ben had Latin and Grace had Latin. So it was fun. I love those Fridays because they really are, just pique your interest. Like I think we're going to go on a nature walk on one of them, and just fun. They're just nice, relaxing, and it really is a good way instead of sitting down and saying, I'm doing a Shakespeare class, and your kids going, I don't understand anything about it. I don't understand what they're saying. In this environment, it's just like we just read a little piece, but yes, Ben, he wanted more. So if it had been a Shakespeare class, he'd have been totally like, no, I don't like it. But and we've started also doing morning time, which was an idea I got from Circe, a light. Who was she? I don't remember her name. But anyway, they do morning time, and it's a time, instead of jumping up out of bed and eating and doing like math or going right into something, it's a morning time. So you do kind of like we do on these Fridays, but shorter, and just an hour or so in the morning. But the other day we read a piece from Romeo and Juliet, and that also piqued Ben's interest, because of the tragedy. It's like, oh, he was just like, oh my gosh, don't kill yourself. She's not dead. But so anyway, he was asking questions, and then we looked at Van Gogh, and he was interested in his more about his life, and the tragedy of his life, that he couldn't believe that he wasn't famous in his day. And I said, no, not until after he passed away, which is what a lot of these artists faced. Um, and so he really just wanted to dig in a little more, and that's what that's about. So you're not like, say, okay, sit down, it's now time for art, and we're gonna do this. It was just like a flow. We're all just sitting on the couch, and just I pulled up. There was a YouTube that had 120, 228. Anyway, a lot of his paintings. So we just played it, and it was really good. And then they picked out their favorite one, and so it was fun. It was fun. And then we did Gauguin because they were friends. So we did Gauguin a couple days later. Then we were doing alternating art and music. So we studied Bach, and listened to some Bach, and read about a little bit about Bach's life. So it was fun. It's just a good time, and it really has changed the tone of the whole day. School is going so much smoother now that I've introduced this morning time, and I love it. I love it. Then they go into math and Latin, and it's just been smooth. It's just been nice, and everybody's calmer, and just kind of the day just flows, and then we get a lot done because everybody's happy, happy, happy. So that's a little bit on homeschooling, and I'm trying to think anything else that we have done that's interesting. Um, I can't think of anything. It's just like school and spinning. That's what I do. Um, anyway, we have today a very good friend of ours, Abby. is going to college, and so we're having a going to a going away party for her, and that's fun. I can't wait. And then tonight they're having a back to school youth barbecue, which I love. It's actual barbecue, and so we're going to go to that for dinner. And the good news is, I think I can avoid going to the grocery store today. Also, Friday has been my day, but yesterday uh, I just not in the mood to go to the grocery store. So I thought, okay, I can mix. I have a bag of beans and some corn, and have a little bit of cheese left, a little bit of sour cream left. And so, and I had one piece of frozen chicken breast, and so I stuck all that in a pot and called it taco soup. I had some little cumin, chili powder, salt, and then I stopped at the Dollar General store and got a couple boxes of Jiffy cornbread, which is cheating, but it's really good. So I made corn muffins and we had taco soup. And so this morning, today, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I don't want to go to the store on Saturday because, it's Saturday. Everyone's at the store. And so Grace and I had toad in the holes for breakfast, which was the last of the loaf bread. You take a piece of bread and you put a hole in the middle, and then put some butter in the pan, and you crack a egg into the hole. And so you basically have fried egg and toast is what it is, but it's really good and fun. So Grace and I had that. Ben sleeps until, if he's left to his own devices, he'll sleep till like 11. And then I'm going to have the leftover taco soup for lunch. And then for dinner, we're going to the barbecue. So Saturday's covered. Tomorrow is going to be stretching it. Tomorrow I'll get up and make muffins. But I probably won't have butter for them, but that's okay. Southern household without butter is a tragedy. But I have hanging on, I have that much left. So anyway, I'll probably have to go to the store tomorrow. But I'm free today, so I don't have to go. And Sunday afternoon is not too bad at the store. And you see everybody you know there because it's after church and everybody's going to the store. So anyway, that's that. Can't think of anything else. I would love your guys' comments on here. I know I'm getting more followers, and that's good. And I would like to hear what your thoughts are, what you'd like to see more of. I've done a couple of cooking segments, just playing by themselves, and oh, I'll tell you guys. But anyway, I usually wind up spilling. I don't when I do those, it's a mess. But it's okay. If you want to see more of those, I can. But one thing I was going to tell you is, and I don't work for Pampered Chef. I just bought this from Pampered Chef, or I didn't buy it. A friend loaned it to me. But it's their ice cream maker, and it is fabulous. It's so fabulous that I'm actually going to have a Pampered Chef party in a couple of weeks so I can get it for free. But it is amazing. It's one of those that has the crock and you stick it in the freezer for 24 hours. And then the recipe that my friend used, Paulette, who does sell Pampered Chef, but she did, it's a pint of whipping cream and a can of sweetened condensed milk, and I think a couple teaspoons of vanilla. No, I just poured, and I don't know what she did, but vanilla and a little pinch of salt, if I didn't say that. And then you just mix it in a blender, and then you pour it into this ice cream freezer, and you put the little lid on, and it's got the churner, and it just, in like 10 or 15 minutes you have ice cream. And the awesome thing about it is, besides the unbelievable rich flavor of that ice cream, um, is if you just stick it in the freezer, when you make homemade ice cream, a lot of times it just freezes solid. You just got to pound it to get bits of it out. Uh, that's been my experience anyway. So, but this, I think because of the whipping cream, does not, it's not liquidy really, like milk is liquidy, so it freezes solid. But this whipping cream, the combination of the whipping cream and sweetened condensed milk, it is the same texture of store-bought ice cream. So you can, like, the next day we got it out, and I was thinking I need to set that out so it can thaw a little bit, so we'll be able to get some out. I could take my ice cream scoop and just scoop it, and it was fabulous. And so anyway, I love it, and I want one. Um, I have an ice cream freezer with the little, the motor, and then you put the things, hook it onto the bigger bucket that has your ice and salt, and then the canister is in the middle of all that. Well, mine, I don't know why, but like you have to hold the motor down or it will jump up, and it's just a hassle. And then if you don't, and it makes a gallon of ice cream, so if you don't eat it all, then it gets hard as a rock in the freezer, and it's just not as good as when you're taking it out when it's done. And also it takes a while. It takes maybe 30 minutes. I don't know. I haven't done it in a while, but for it to freeze. So this Pampered Chef one is just awesome. So it's $80 though, and I'm not gonna spend and can't spend $80 on an ice cream maker, but I can have a party and get the ice cream maker for free. I think I just have to sell 500 and I get $90 in free products. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I want that ice cream maker because it's so good. And you can make 2 batches back to back. Um, it'll still be frozen. So I just love it, and it's easy cleanup. You just wipe it, wash it, and put it back in your freezer. It's it's great. So I just, when I first saw it, I was like, eh. But then when she let me borrow it, good, good, good. So my little plug for Pampered Chef. Uh, but anyway, I can't think of anything else I can talk about right now. But you guys have a great weekend and a great week for everybody going back to school. Be safe, and I just we'll see you hopefully in a week, but probably 2 weeks to be realistic. I will though on Instagram. I'm on Instagram as Simply Homespun, and I will post a picture of the finished poodle yarn if you're curious to see. And I usually will post on Instagram because I got a new phone that's actually in the 21st century, so I can take pictures and go right to Instagram. So that's cool. So anyway, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see pictures of things that I do all week. And I'm on Ravelry as Simply Homespun. I'm on Facebook as Simply Homespun. Um, Twitter is Simply Homespun1, and Pinterest is Simply Homespun. But to be honest, I have not posted on Pinterest, or I don't do a whole lot on Twitter, um, unless I'm able to just, like Instagram, I can share to Twitter, so I do that. Facebook, I do more because I do, Facebook seems to be a good avenue for me sales wise. So I usually will post to the Facebook page. And but in Ravelry, I don't keep up with the project page. I should, but I don't. And I don't really post on there. I use Ravelry a lot, especially for patterns, but I don't normally just post on there. So Instagram and Facebook are the best places for me. And there's a bee in my shop. go away. So anyway, I just you can follow me there, like my Facebook or the YouTube, and subscribe if you want to know when another one's coming out. And I'm going to be working. I'm going to paint my shop at some point white. I really want to do that, and I'd like to do it before winter because the paint won't dry very well. But it's a project, and I probably won't. It'll probably be next year. But anyway, I'm going to work on getting the background a little better. I'd love to podcast because out my little door window is the lake, and you can see that. But the light is so bright, you can't really see what's outside the window. You can only see this bright light. So um, that's kind of hard. But I could fix this back here, and I'll do that. It'll, every episode might be just a little more pretty. Or you could say, or we could probably guess what I changed on the backdrop. But anyway, you guys have a great week. I'm rambling, so I'm going to quit, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.